Hey everybody, just a tiny short video. There's some Supreme Court rulings today, and one of them allows Trump to end temporary legal status for the Haitian and Somali immigrants, which is actually great because now he will do that, hopefully, and they can all be booted the hell out of here like they should be because they came here illegally. But that brings up another subject. The Supreme Court already heard oral arguments and should render a decision fairly soon with regards to birthright citizenship. And it's something I happen to know a lot about. First of all, the premise that there ever was birthright citizenship is based upon dicta, which is just garbage, is what it's in layman terms, that might be contained in a Supreme Court case and is not part of a decision. And Justice Berger, I think it was Berger, and then, I don't know, around 1970, put in a footnote that something to the effect of birthright citizenship. But the Supreme Court has never ruled on birthright citizenship. And the premise, the wrong-headed understanding is that somehow in Reconstruction, which is when immediately after the Civil War, we had to reconstruct the South. So part of that was laws to work on the former Confederates to say, hey, you cannot disenfranchise black people. They are made citizens because they were brought here, against their wishes and had lived here and everything, and they have rights and they can vote and everything else. And that was the purpose of the 14th Amendment, so that the South would not, after the Civil War, disenfranchise black voters. Secondly, when it was passed, when the 14th Amendment was passed, I believe in 1868, after the Civil War, there was colloquy means discussion, on the record in the U.S. Senate as to the effect of the 14th Amendment and what it would do and what it wouldn't do. And they talked about foreign diplomats having children here and all that stuff, and how that would mean that those children are not U.S. citizens. They never even considered the fact of illegal aliens and the massive amount of influx of illegal aliens we've had over the past 40 years. And you can bet your dime to a dollar that they would have said, hey man, if somebody's coming here illegally and they pop a kid that on U.S. soil, that kid is not a U.S. citizen. So what they did, though, in the understanding of that time, is they put language in the 14th Amendment. Sorry, I'm still getting over some crap I caught. That says subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. And an illegal alien is not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. They still are a citizen of the country that they came from. Yeah, you can have the cops go arrest them and throw them out, but that's not what they're meaning by that term. So when you add all that up, and then you add up a decision that the people that are for birthright citizenship love to cite, which is, excuse me, Wong Ark, 1898 Supreme Court decision. That's distinguishable too. Why? Because the plaintiff in Wong Ark, his parents were here legally. They came under the Treaty of Burlingame between us and China, where we wanted to get workers in here to build the railroads and other stuff like that. They also had established domicile in San Francisco. And the combination of the two, damn, hold on. I'm gonna grab a water. Isn't that nice, huh? That's how my videos are. Anyways, it's garbage I've had. It's a nightmare. Oh, 5 days so far. But anyways, they were here legally, the parents. So they adjudicated that the child, the kid, the plaintiff, had legal status. Thus, he couldn't be booted out. That is not the case with illegal aliens, okay? Illegal aliens are pouring in here. They're doing it for solely economic reasons, which is actually irrelevant, but that's why they're doing it. They have no allegiance to the country. They are still citizens of the country they came from. So when they're popping kids on U.S. soil, those kids are citizens of the country that those parents are from, not us. They can all be booted the hell out of here and should be. My worry is over the past 20, 30, 40 years, the Supreme Court has gotten politicized. And it could be a situation where Justice Roberts says, hey, look, to the, Sotomayor and Kagan and, whatever his name is, Ketanji Jackson, I think, or whatever. And then some of the swing votes that go sideways, like Amy Coney Barrett. She's sort of a wacko, in my opinion. But hey, look, give us these decisions here, and we're going to give you the birthright citizenship. If they do that, that's complete and utter bullshit. It's in complete, utter disregard of the law and the statutes. So I hope they stick to proper statutory and case law analysis and rule that there's no birthright citizenship. And that should be coming shortly. And I just wanted to bring you guys all up to date on that. On another front, like I said, the Israeli thing and the Iran war, any day it'll fall apart. Any day now. Maybe it'll take a week. I don't know. But it's all bullshit because Israel is left in a way worse position than they were after this Iran debacle that they sucked us into. And they're going to do something. You can bet your dime the dollar. And they're already poking at Turkey, and Turkey could wipe them out just like that with a land invasion. So it isn't going to end well. If you want my guess, in the next 3 to 5 years, 6 years, there might not even be an Israel. The question is, do they drag the whole world down because they have about 200 illegal nuclear weapons that they stole the technology and the material from us? And one of the reasons I believe that they knocked off John F. Kennedy, I think he was knocked off by a Mossad, possibly combined CIA operation, but I don't know. A lot of those documents have not been released, even though Trump ordered them released. And there's that Samson option where they try to take out everybody if they're going down. I mean, horrible situation, horrible country, in my opinion. And they're very anti-Christian. That goes back to Jesus. Anyways, so I think that situation's ripe to blow up. Economically, I think you're finally seeing the market start to turn over. You're seeing the semiconductors go down. I think they had an update today, which a rebound. Frankly, I probably should have taken a short position, but I'll look into it tomorrow on the SMH or SOX, SOXX, or their inverse corollaries. But that it's the only thing that's been holding the market up. So, anyway, with that, I'll conclude. Enough for today. Hope everybody's doing well, better than me. But I am out bike riding and gotten that much better. Take care.